Welcome to our channel. Today, we uncover a horrifying case of a newlywed couple that didn't return home from their trip. This is a story of pleasure, intrigue, and broken trust. Our story starts on the 15th of September 2023. A beautiful morning at a remote lakeside cabin is shattered when a local hiker discovers the bodies of newlyweds Alex and Emily. They had come here for their honeymoon, but now the serene setting is filled with horror. The hiker calls 911, reporting screams heard the night before. The cabin is isolated, far from the nearest town. What was meant to be a romantic getaway has turned into a crime scene. Broken glass, scattered belongings, and signs of a struggle paint a disturbing picture. Alex and Emily were a recently married couple, both in their mid-20s, with bright futures ahead of them. Alex was an adventurous outdoor enthusiast, known for his love of hiking, camping, and exploring nature. His adventurous spirit often inspired those around him, especially Emily. Emily, on the other hand, was more reserved but eager to embrace new experiences for the sake of her new husband. She had always been the kind of person who found joy in the little things and loved to support Alex in his pursuits. Friends and family described them as a happy couple, deeply in love, and filled with excitement about their shared future. They were seen as a perfect match, complementing each other's personalities, and their marriage was celebrated by everyone in their circle. John was Emily's ex-boyfriend, who had never truly moved on after their breakup. Though he seemed to have accepted their split on the surface, there were whispers of unresolved feelings. John was known for his passionate nature, and after learning about Emily's marriage to Alex, he became increasingly bitter and resentful. Friends recounted instances of past altercations between John and Alex, raising suspicions about his potential involvement in their disappearance. Martha had always been fiercely protective of her brother, Alex. She had reservations about his relationship with Emily, feeling that her brother could have done better. Leading up to the wedding, tensions flared between Martha and Emily, fueled by jealousy and concern for Alex's well-being. Sources reported that Martha expressed her disapproval to close friends, and her feelings may have clouded her judgment. After the couple's disappearance, her protective instincts raised eyebrows among investigators. Tom was a local hiking guide who had been assigned to assist Alex and Emily during their honeymoon adventure. While he seemed knowledgeable and enthusiastic about sharing the beauty of the area, his behavior took a strange turn. He was overly eager to provide information about the couple's last known movements, but investigators noted inconsistencies in his statements. He claimed to have spent the day before their disappearance with them, yet his alibi lacked solid evidence, putting him on the list of potential suspects. Detective Rachel Marks arrived at the secluded cabin just after dawn, her breath visible in the cool morning air. The scene was hauntingly beautiful, juxtaposed against the horrific reality that had unfolded. As she stepped inside, the first thing that struck her was the stark disarray, a sharp contrast to the romantic getaway it was meant to be. Rachel began piecing together the events of Alex and Emily's last hours, her keen eyes scanning for every detail. She noticed Alex's phone lying on the table, still unlocked. Curious, she picked it up and scrolled through the recent messages. Her heart raced as she discovered a series of strange texts sent late at night, filled with urgency and confusion. The last few messages hinted at an escalating situation, with phrases like, "I can't believe this is happening, and we need to talk." They painted a picture of a couple with a mystery of their own. Next, she turned her attention to Emily's backpack, which lay torn open near the entrance. Contents were scattered, but remarkably, nothing seemed to be missing. No wallets, no personal items. This raised questions about whether the chaos was the result of a struggle or simply a hastily abandoned bag in the heat of a moment. After the initial examination, Detective Marks set out to gather information from locals in the nearby town. She interviewed several residents, trying to piece together the couple's final moments. Some locals claimed to have seen Alex and Emily arguing the night before, their voices raised in a heated discussion. Their accounts were filled with speculation, and though the details were inconsistent, the whispers of conflict painted a different picture than the loving couple everyone believed them to be. Conversely, other witnesses insisted the couple appeared inseparable, deeply in love, and enjoying each other's company. A neighbor from a nearby cabin provided a chilling testimony, recalling how they noticed a shadowy figure moving in the woods that night. The neighbor's description of the figure was vague, but it sent shivers down Rachel's spine, adding a layer of unease to the already troubling situation. With a range of conflicting testimonies, Rachel knew it was time to bring in the potential suspects for questioning. She started with John, Emily's ex-boyfriend, whose emotions were on full display during the interrogation. His behavior was erratic. One moment he appeared angry and defensive. The next he was visibly devastated, struggling to accept that Emily was gone. Rachel noted the bitterness in his tone when he spoke of Alex, hinting at unresolved feelings and jealousy that could have spiraled into something more sinister. Next, Rachel turned her attention to Martha, Alex's sister. Her demeanor was cold and distant as she answered questions, almost as if she were reluctant to engage with the investigation. Martha's answers were curt and evasive, revealing little about her relationship with Emily or the couple's activities leading up to their disappearance. Rachel felt a tension in the air, sensing that Martha was hiding something. Finally, there was Tom, the local hiking guide. His alibi for the day of the couple's disappearance was shaky at best. He claimed to have been out on a solo hike during the crucial hours, but Rachel found inconsistencies in his timeline. As she listened to Tom's account, she couldn't shake the feeling that he was concealing information, making him a prime suspect in the investigation. As the day progressed, the threads of the case began to weave together, each character revealing layers of complexity and potential motives. Rachel knew she had to dig deeper to unravel the truth behind this tragic event. As the investigation unfolds, cracks begin to show in the facade of Alex and Emily's seemingly perfect relationship. Initial interviews with friends and family reveal that their love story may not have been as idyllic as it appeared. Investigators discover that Emily had been in contact with her ex-boyfriend, John, leading up to the wedding. While she insisted it was just a friendship, Alex had been completely unaware of these exchanges. To complicate matters, Alex had been hiding a troubling history of financial difficulties, including mounting debts and a failed business venture. This secrecy raises questions about whether he had shared his true self with Emily, potentially breeding mistrust and resentment. In a breakthrough moment, investigators analyze Alex's phone and find a mysterious message sent to a contact named Unknown. The message hints at a planned meeting the night before the couple's disappearance, suggesting that Alex may have had unresolved issues he needed to address. This revelation raises alarms and leads the investigators to question whom Alex had been meeting and why it was so secretive. Additionally, they discover footprints leading away from the scene into the dense woods surrounding the cabin, hinting at the possibility that someone may have fled the area just after the tragedy occurred. Initially, all signs seemed to point towards John, particularly due to his obsessive behavior following Emily's marriage. He had been spotted lingering near the area where the couple was staying, and past altercations with Alex only added to the suspicion. However, when a credible witness comes forward, providing John with an alibi for the night of the murder, investigators are forced to shift their focus. This unexpected twist brings Tom, the local guide, back into the spotlight due to his strange behavior and inconsistent statements regarding the couple's last known movements. Investigators begin to feel that Tom is hiding something. Meanwhile, Martha's behavior raises eyebrows. She exhibits extreme grief over the loss of her brother, but also displays anger and resentment towards Emily. As the investigation continues, questions arise about her true relationship with Emily and whether she may have had a motive that hadn't been previously considered. As Detective Rachel Marks digs deeper into the investigation, a shocking revelation comes to light. Tom, the local guide, had been romantically involved with Emily before her marriage to Alex. The relationship had been intense, but ultimately fizzled out as Emily moved on. However, Tom's lingering feelings for her were not entirely extinguished. This hidden connection creates a tangled web of motives that casts suspicion on Tom. Was he driven by jealousy and rage over Emily's marriage to Alex? Did he see this honeymoon as an opportunity to confront them? The idea that Tom could be harboring resentments complicates the narrative, raising questions about his involvement in the tragic events. The investigation takes a dramatic turn when Detective Marks discovers Emily's diary hidden in her backpack, which had been left behind at the cabin. As Rachel reads through the entries, she uncovers startling revelations. Emily had been having second thoughts about her marriage. In the days leading up to their trip, she had been contemplating leaving Alex after the honeymoon. The diary contains details of her feelings of suffocation in the relationship and her desire for independence. What's more troubling is that she had been secretly communicating with both John and Tom, discussing her doubts and contemplating rekindling her connection with both men. This betrayal introduces a new layer of complexity to the case, suggesting that multiple parties had a motive for conflict. In a heart-wrenching turn of events, Detective Marks learns that Alex had discovered Emily's plans to leave him on the very night of the murder. The night was meant to be filled with romantic gestures and promises of forever, but instead, it became a turning point of confrontation. Witnesses recount hearing heated arguments echoing from the cabin, and Rachel wonders if this revelation sparked a violent dispute between the couple. Did Alex's discovery of Emily's intentions lead to an emotional explosion, or was it enough to provoke someone else, perhaps Tom, who was still bitter over Emily's decision to marry Alex? The intertwining relationships and secrets create a chaotic backdrop for the night of the murder, leaving Detective Marks racing against time to unravel the truth before it's too late. As the investigation reaches its peak, tensions run high. Detective Rachel Marks has been piecing together the puzzle, and her instincts tell her that the truth is just within reach. In a dramatic twist, Tom, the local guide, finally cracks under pressure. During an intense interrogation, he confesses that he was indeed at the lake on the night of the murder. However, he insists he didn't kill Alex and Emily. Instead, he recounts witnessing a heated argument between the couple by the water's edge. Claims he left the scene before things escalated, feeling uncomfortable and unsure of how to intervene. Detective Marks, armed with this new information, shifts her focus to Martha, Alex's protective sister. Confronting her in an emotionally charged meeting, Marks presses for the truth. After moments of silence and mounting pressure, Martha finally breaks down, admitting that she arrived at the scene shortly after Tom left. Her instincts to protect Alex had spiraled out of control, leading her to confront Emily. Martha reveals that she had been deeply concerned about Emily's influence on Alex. She feared that Emily was about to ruin his life. Her brother had been grappling with significant financial troubles and was stressed beyond measure. In a moment of passion and rage, when Martha witnessed the argument, she felt compelled to intervene. In the ensuing chaos, she snapped and attacked Emily. Alex, trying to protect his wife, got caught in the middle, resulting in a tragic and accidental death. Martha's confession is heart-wrenching, revealing a complex mix of love, jealousy, and desperation. She never intended for anyone to die, but her protective instincts had led her down a dark path. The realization that family ties could unravel so violently sends shockwaves through Detective Marks, leaving her grappling with the personal ramifications of the case. In a final twist, the audience learns that Alex had been harboring his own secrets. Financial troubles had driven him to a breaking point, and he had devised a plan to fake his own death during the honeymoon. His intention was to escape the pressures of his life and start anew without Emily, believing it would be easier than confronting the reality of his situation. This tragic miscalculation adds another layer of complexity to the story. The revelation that Alex's actions may have been fueled by desperation creates an even darker atmosphere, highlighting how miscommunication and unspoken struggles can lead to devastating consequences. As the truth unfolds, Detective Marks is left to reflect on the fragility of relationships, the burdens of unaddressed issues, and the tragic outcomes that can arise when love intertwines with secrets and desperation. After an intense investigation, Martha is arrested for her involvement in the murders of Alex and Emily. Evidence links her to the crime scene, including a bloody shirt found hidden in her closet. It is revealed that her jealousy and protectiveness spiraled into a dangerous obsession, leading to a confrontation that ended tragically. While Martha is apprehended, Tom's involvement in the case remains murky. He had the opportunity to prevent the couple's deaths. He had been nearby when the incident occurred. However, overwhelmed by his own feelings, for Emily's feelings he never fully acted upon, he chose to leave the cabin area rather than intervene. This decision haunts him as he grapples with the reality that his inaction contributed to the couple's demise. As the investigation unfolds, Tom's emotional turmoil intensifies, leading him to question his own morals and decisions. The entire town is left reeling from the brutal murders of the young couple. Friends and family struggle to comprehend the tragedy that has unfolded in their close-knit community. The once vibrant atmosphere is replaced with a somber silence, and rumors swirl about the true nature of Alex and Emily's relationship. John, who had initially been a suspect, is now free from suspicion but finds no solace in his freedom. Instead, he grapples with guilt for his past obsession with Emily, reflecting on how his unresolved feelings may have contributed to the chaos. He realizes that his bitterness and jealousy toward Alex had clouded his judgment, and now he must live with the weight of his emotions. Detective Rachel Marks is deeply affected by the case's outcome. As she reflects on the couple's tragic end, she finds herself confronting her own failed marriage. The devastating consequences of hidden lies resonate with her as she realizes that the failure to communicate and confront issues head-on can lead to heartbreaking results. The case serves as a painful reminder of her own choices and the fragility of love, pushing her to reassess her future, both professionally and personally. Despite the arrests and some answers, several lingering questions remain unanswered. Whispers circulate about Alex's plan to fake his death, a plan that never fully materialized. Was it a desperate attempt to escape his life, or was there more to his intentions that Emily knew? The truth about their relationship continues to be shrouded in mystery. Did Emily ever truly love Alex, or were there deeper feelings for someone else? These unresolved questions leave the community unsettled, fostering a sense of lingering unease. As the dust settles, it becomes clear that the shadows of this tragedy will linger long after the headlines fade, leaving everyone to grapple with the echoes of love, betrayal, and the haunting consequences of their actions. As the sun sets over the tranquil lake where Alex and Emily were found, Detective Rachel Marks stands on the shoreline, reflecting on the case that has consumed her for weeks. The once serene waters now seem to carry the weight of the tragic events that unfolded there. Rachel gazes out at the horizon, where the fading light casts a warm glow over the landscape, a stark contrast to the darkness of the couple's fate. In her heart, she feels the fragility of relationships, how love, when intertwined with secrets and jealousy, can spiral into devastating consequences. The case is officially closed, but the emotional scars linger both for the families of Alex and Emily and for Rachel herself. She knows that while the physical evidence pointed to a clear resolution, the emotional turmoil and unanswered questions still haunt her. As she turns to leave, she takes one last look at the lake, vowing to carry the lessons learned from this tragedy into her future investigations. The story leaves the audience grappling with complex themes of love, betrayal, and the fine line between protection and obsession. Was justice truly served in this case, or were there deeper, unresolved issues within Alex and Emily's marriage that went unnoticed? The love they shared seemed pure, yet beneath the surface lay layers of tension and potential for disaster. Rachel's reflections prompt viewers to consider how relationships can be influenced by external pressures and personal insecurities, ultimately questioning whether the couple's love was strong enough to withstand the challenges they faced. The final takeaway from this chilling story highlights the dangerous consequences of deception and the psychological toll of trying to control others' lives. Rachel's journey illustrates how the desire to protect those we love can sometimes turn into a harmful obsession. The audience is left pondering the extent to which individuals will go when love turns toxic, and how unaddressed issues can manifest in destructive ways. This cautionary tale serves as a reminder that the pursuit of love and connection must always be balanced with trust, honesty, and open communication to avoid tragic outcomes.